This is CBS News Chicago.
Topping your 10 at 10, a former lifeguard accused in a deadly shooting at Douglas Park is expected back in court today. He's charged with shooting two teens late last month, killing one of them. Our Marissa Perlman's in the newsroom checking what is next in this case. Marissa?
The suspect in this case, Charles Lasso, a former lifeguard, will face a preliminary hearing later on this morning. In the meantime, the Chicago Park District has released its findings into its own internal investigation into what happened here and is now pledging to make reforms. A new report reveals the accused shooter had several conflicts with staffers and visitors at another park, but no formal complaints were ever filed. Lasso had just wrapped up his shift at the Douglas Park pool when police say he shot 15-year-old Marjay Dotson and 14-year-old Jeremy Herrick. Dotson later died from his injuries. One day after the shooting, the Park District launched that internal review. The report says Lasso passed two background checks and a 2023 incident where police say Lasso shot two dogs never turned up. That's because he was never arrested or formally charged. The review revealed significant weaknesses in employee oversight, communication, and documentation that they say they will now take the steps to address. Lasso was placed on an emergency unpaid suspension after the shooting and later resigned. He's now in custody, awaiting trial. In the newsroom, Marissa Perlman, CBS News Chicago.
Marissa, thank you. Testimony continues today in the trial of the man accused of killing Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso. It was 2023 when police responded to a domestic violence call. The defense describes the then 18-year-old Stephen Montano as a troubled man, controlled by his 37-year-old girlfriend. His lawyers argue that Montano ran from the scene to de-escalate the situation. They also claim Montano and Officer Vasquez Lasso raised their guns at the same time. Montano is expected to take the stand during his trial. Chicago's vetoed snap curfew ordinance is back up for debate at City Hall. Today, the mayor will read his veto letter to City Council. That measure is aimed at cracking down on big teen gatherings. It would let police declare a curfew anywhere in the city if crowds get rowdy, giving teens just 30 minutes to clear out. The council passed the bill last month, but the mayor vetoed it. It is possible that aldermen could try to override his veto. Chicago City Council also expected to vote on so-called granny flats. That zoning committee passed the ordinance yesterday. It allows homeowners to build coach houses, garden apartments, or attic units on their property without special permission from city officials. Construction of those units have been banned since the late 1950s. Advocates say the rule change will increase the city's housing supply and address the affordability crisis, but critics say it will damage the character of the city. Mayor Johnson disagrees.
In order for us to build the safest, most affordable big city in America, we have to have more units. We are over 100,000 units short. This is an opportunity to complement the investments that we've made in building affordable homes.
There was a similar proposal last summer. It failed after opposition by a group of aldermen concerned about the strain of an influx of new housing and what that would do in their wards when it comes to public services. Two Chicago aldermen are trying to get their wards exempt from an anti-gentrification ordinance. The Northwest Side Preservation Ordinance says that if an owner wants to sell their building, the tenants get a first right of refusal and can buy the building themselves. Alderman Felix Cardona Jr. of the 31st Ward and Gilbert Villegas from the 36th filed amendments to get their wards cut out of this ordinance. The amendments cleared a council committee but still need approval from the full council. Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza is announcing whether or not she plans to run for a fourth term. People close to the comptroller told Politico that Mendoza has her eye on a potential mayoral run in 2027. Now, if that is the case, she likely won't run for another term as comptroller. The timing of the announcement notable here this weekend is when Cook County Democrats plan to announce their slating for the 2026 elections. Stay with us through updates throughout the day. 3 Chicago aldermen threw their weight behind Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy for his bid for the U.S. Senate. Alders Pat Dowell, David Moore, and Chris Talaferro all endorsed Krishnamurthy in a statement. Former 21st Ward Alderman Howard Brookins also joined that endorsement group. Krishnamurthy joins Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton and Congresswoman Robin Kelly in that race. They are vying for the Democratic nomination to succeed retiring Dick Durbin. There's also a high-profile endorsement in the crowded race to succeed Jan Schakowsky in the 9th District. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is supporting Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss. In a statement, she calls him a relentless fighter who can help deliver structural change. Other high-profile candidates running include State Senator Laura Fine, State Representative Han Wynn as well. We are on weather alert today, preparing for a steamy and stormy afternoon. Meteorologist David Yeomans here with a look at when these storms could start to bubble up. David.
Hey, Marie, good morning to you. About 3 to 9 o'clock this afternoon and evening is when we need to be weather aware. There's a 2 out of 5 risk for most of us of flooding, wind damage, or an isolated tornado. Large hail is the lowest concern this time around. The heat and humidity are palpable. It feels like 90 already in Aurora, 93 the heat index at 10 a.m. in Lake County. Dry weather with nothing more than an isolated pop-up shower for the next 6 hours or so, but by 3 or 4 p.m. all eyes are out to the west. A disturbance approaching, which actually led to egg-size hail last night in Nebraska, congeals into a big complex of thunderstorms, most likely in the city of Chicago between about 5 and 8 o'clock in the middle of that window. Any of these storms could have wind damage with gusts over 60 as they roll into northwest Indiana. After 8 or 9 p.m. though, this all winds down, and watch the wind direction. A cooler north wind drops temperatures by more than 20 degrees tomorrow, also piles up some big waves along Lake Michigan. So a weather alert today with a severe storm threat, highs in the lower 90s, feeling like closer to 100. But behind the storms, look at the drop in temperatures tomorrow. Cloudy skies, a morning shower south of Chicago, and high temperatures of 73, the coolest in over a month. Another beautiful low humidity and mild day on Friday, but storms return at times this weekend. A weather alert on Saturday for periods of severe weather and heavy rain that will be likely. Marie?
David, thank you. A United Nations independent expert is calling on countries around the world to suspend its ties with Israel. This comes amid a deteriorating situation in Gaza. Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese also asked for help from members to protect her against U.S. sanctions. Albanese called on countries to immediately review and suspend all ties with the state of Israel. That would include everything from military to economic relations, both imports and exports. American Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the sanctions are a result of Albanese's efforts to prompt action against U.S. and Israeli officials. If Iran does not make progress toward a nuclear deal by the end of August, tough sanctions will be restored. That threat comes from the United Kingdom, France, and Germany. This is according to 2 European diplomats. Iran's foreign minister said this week Tehran would resume nuclear talks if the U.S. promised to make no new attacks. The Pentagon is withdrawing 2,000 National Guard troops from Los Angeles. Those troops were sent to L.A. last month to help law enforcement deal with demonstrations over immigration raids. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass called the troop removal a victory for the city.
This is what happens when the city stands strong, because we have been united, when people peacefully protest, when people raise the concerns about having National Guard in a situation where they were, as far as I'm concerned, used as props.
Currently, 2,000 Guard members and 700 Marines are on duty in that city. CBS News has learned that President Trump plans to sign an executive order to establish national standards for the NCAA. According to several sources, this would include name, image, and likeness, also known as NIL. Right now, college athletes can make millions on brand deals well before they can go pro. The medals for next year's Winter Olympics have been revealed, and you're looking at them. Organizers say the 2026 hardware was designed by the Italian State Mint and the Polygraphic Institute. They are made from recycled materials using renewable energy. Each medal features a split design to symbolize both Olympic and Paralympic values. The games begin in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo on February 6th, 2026. That is it for your 10 at 10 nonstop news. We'll be right back with more of your top stories.